What's going on, guys? So this is the first trim that I'm giving in the morning, and we're gonna start off this client with a mid fade. I'm gonna show you how I start and of course how I finish. So let's get to it. So usually when I start with a 0.5 with the guard, and I just try to make a line with it before I start cleaning out the side and of course doing the skin fade. Usually some people start with like skinning it and putting like a line with the detailer. I usually don't, because I've noticed when you do that the line still shows. So it's kind of more better using the 0.5 and just trying to make a line with it before you start to fade it in. So with this client, I'm going to start with a gauge 2 open up, and I'm going to go with the grain. Usually when I cut it with the grain, it actually just falls off nice and easy. There's no need for you to go against the grain when you're trying to give someone a mid fade, so always keep that in mind. Try to follow exactly where the hair is growing out from. Follow it with the grain. No need to actually go against the grain and try to, go the opposite way where the hair is growing at. So you can see me combing it downwards, cutting it at the same time when I'm combing it. So make sure that you always follow the way the hair is growing out of the scalp, then actually going against the grain. Once that's done, use the same guard that you used to go with the grain and start to blend it from the side. So this is going to give you enough room for you to start fading it in without any potential mistakes. So guys, the only time you can go against the grain is when you're cutting the side of the hair, right? So you can go against the grain on the side of the hair, because of course when the hair is growing the other way around, you want to be able to catch it when you're actually trying to fade it. You don't want to go with the grain when you're cutting it on the side, because you're not going to cut anything. So always keep that in mind. When there's a different types of hair texture where you want to go against the grain than going against the grain when you're cutting a certain types of hair texture, guys. Alright, so now we're going to get to the shape up bit now, right? So before I start shaping his hair, you can see that there's a lot of, hair at the front of his hair. All we're going to do is kind of fade it with a 1.5 guard. We're not going to take too much off the front. We're just going to take a little bit off, right? So we're just going to tap on it a little bit and making sure that we get enough hair out, not a lot, just a little bit, because majority of the time I got this client that comes to me all the time, so I got to make sure I reserve his hairline, because he's got a crown on the left side, so I don't want to go too ham in taking off a lot of hair. So I'm going to tap it a little bit before I start to shape it up. So after getting out the shape up out of the way, I got the number 1 gauge, and all I got to do is to open up and then I'm start to push the hair up to a nice even level before I start to kind of blend it with a 1/2 gauge. So the reason why I use a 2 gauge first is so I can have enough area to play with what I'm doing right now with the 1 gauge. I'm actually just blending it all the way to the middle of the temple. I'm not going all the way up. I'm just staying right in the middle side because of course this is a mid fade. So when you are starting any type of client's hair, always make sure that you get the surface out the way first so you have enough playing ground. I don't know about you guys here, when it comes to like actually starting to blend, I think my favorite part is actually using the half guard to actually blend in the 1 to the 0.5. It's just like, you know, when you get that fade right, yeah, it's over for the whole trim. So you can see me using a half a guard right now. I'm blending in the 0.5 to the 1. You can see exactly how it's just, you know, just fading everything out. So you know when you've done that out the way, man, you ain't gotta worry about the rest, bro. So when you finish with the half a guard, what you want to do is get the 1.5 and start to blend it from the 2 to the 1. You can see how I'm blending it with open guard up, and I'm just blending it nice and easy. I think this is the amazing part of actually having the right tools when you're cutting your client's hair. This being my first video on YouTube for haircut tutorial, make sure you press the like button if you're feeling this video, and make sure you also subscribe, guys. You guys, yeah, as I'm moving, I am changing it a bit as well as I'm going along. I'm not just staying with the clothes, like I'm moving, and this is when the skills have to kick in, you know. You gotta go up with the guard, come down, go up, go down, go from the corners. So there's like, that's when the skill has to kick in when you're actually doing this, right? So guys, whenever you're using anything to, you know, get a skin, like any trimmer, make sure you have like 2 trimmers. Like you have like 1 trimmer for the shape up and 1 trimmer for just making it skin. Use also this is another trimmer that I use that I just showed you. So guys, with the 0.5 open up clippers, you want to actually start to dab a little bit of the hair out. You know, it's so important. Sometimes you miss a bit when you're trying to get the skin closer to the 0.5. So make sure you just dab a little bit just to check out that everything's playing nice and nice. I'm definitely going to do a separate video for how to shape up a beard. I've seen a lot of the times people pushing the beard a bit too low. So what I'm going to do in the next tutorial, I'm going to actually show you guys how you actually shape up a beard the easy way where it's not too complicated, guys. So lock into that one there. This is called the Extreme Hold Spray. It's at level 8. This is actually one of the best holding spray that you can actually use whenever you want to actually make sure that the fiber that you're using on your client sticks for a long period of time. And there you go, guys. That's the end result. Clean mid skin fade pattern. If you're new, make sure you lock into this channel, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.